Okay, it is 6 o'clock, and I'd like to call this meeting to order. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The first item on the agenda is to nominate a board chair. I'd like to open the floor for any nominations.
I'll nominate Mike Mosier.
I'll nominate Eric Carr.
Do we have any other nominations? Okay, we will do a roll call vote. So when I call your name, even though you've already made the motion, please speak. So Tom?
Eric.
Okay, thank you. Lauren?
Eric.
Okay, Pat?
Eric.
Jessica?
Eric.
Okay. Eric?
Eric.
Sarah?
Mike.
Lisa?
Mike.
And Mike.
Me.
Congratulations. So by a vote of 5 to 3, Eric Heyer is the chair. Eric, I will turn the meeting over to you.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Next order of business is to nominate a vice chair. Do I have any nominations?
I nominate Sarah.
I'll nominate Jesse. Okay. So we're going to do a roll call vote. Jesse?
Me.
Yep.
Eric, there's a roll call sheet right there.
Is there?
You
Okay,
can
great.
use that.
Perfect. Thank you. Tom?
Jesse.
Lauren?
Jesse.
Pat?
Jesse.
Sarah? Lisa?
Sarah.
And Mike?
Sarah.
All right, so Jesse, you got it.
Thank you.
Okay, we need to nominate a clerk.
I nominate Sarah.
Any other nominations?
I make a motion to chair cast all ballots for Sarah.
A motion has been made. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. I can fill in the remaining board
Yeah,
members
just
after.
publicly recognize their
Yep.
remainder of the board.
Yep. Okay, moving on to GRC.
Or you just need to publicly recognize the remaining names of the board, so.
Oh, okay. So the remainder names of the board is Tom Callahan, Lauren Davenport, Pat Davenport, Lisa Miser, and Mike Moser. All right. Moving on to the 3 GRCSU voting members. Do I have any nominations?
Well,
From-
you're automatically one.
Right.
And I'll nominate Lisa from Proctor.
Okay. So do we need a vote for me then, or am I just automatic?
You're just automatic because you're the chair, and then you need someone from West Rutland.
I'll nominate Jesse.
Okay. Any other nominations from Proctor or West Rutland? Okay. Do I have a motion can I entertain a motion for both members at once? Right. Would anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
So can I just ask one question about that? Do we want to designate like an alternate or
We could.
two alternates? So like if someone can't make it,
Mhm.
that's the person you call? Or do we want to leave it like, if you're not going to be there, you just call who you want? And it makes no difference to me because I only missed one meeting.
Right.
And I had an alternate there.
What is,
But I think that there should be some level of process about how that, someone else ends up in the seat, I guess.
okay.
By Roberts, that's the
Would
way
be
it should
helpful.
handle.
I agree with that. That's fine.
Yeah.
So
So if you want to nominate two people to be alternates, I think that would probably be, or if two people want to volunteer to be alternates.
do we have any volunteers to be alternates on the GRCSU board?
I'll volunteer.
Okay. So we have Mike. At least one more would be nice.
As long as you show up to most of them.
Just one meeting.
Come on, Sarah.
All right, that's fine.
All right.
All right.
Okay. And that way I just think that if you can't, then you know who to contact. so.
That's a good idea.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Now I need a motion to set regular meeting schedules. Usually we have our meetings the second Thursday of the month. Would the board's pleasure be to continue that at 6 o'clock at the SU
So moved.
office? Perfect.
Discussion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
I would move that we pass the annual board retreat date and set that at a later time.
I agree. Is that a motion?
Yes.
Okay. So motion's on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. That's a
Opposed?
table, right? Table that.
To table it, yep. Okay, the next item is set a date for the annual meeting, which is, I think, has pretty much.
Well, traditionally, this is when we've held it, but there's nothing in the Articles of Agreement that states that we have to have it on that date. You haven't really, I think February 1st, the earliest you can have it. And I actually put the statute on the bottom of that roll call sheet that I gave you, Eric.
Okay.
So if the board would like to move the annual meeting up a week, I know that as we've had to shift towards alignment towards a statewide calendar, that our annual meeting now falls during February break, and it seems that no matter which school we have it at, we always run into playoff issues. And maybe with a week earlier, we may avoid that conflict, as well as if we want to have people come in who may not be on February break. So,
Make a motion that the annual meeting be held a week earlier, and I believe it's Proctor's turn this year.
Yep. So what is that date?
February 16th.
16th. 26th
Strike that, so the 16th.
at 7 o'clock or so.
Okay, so that would be February 16th, 2026 at 7 PM at Proctor.
2027.
2027. That went by quick.
Thank you.
At 7 PM at Proctor High School. So do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Okay, next item is, I need a motion to affirm the use of Robert's rules for small boards.
I'll make the motion.
Motion's on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Next motion, well, actually, it's a review and accept the VSBA Code of Ethics.
So if we didn't all get packets, we don't all have those to sign this evening, so can we do that at the next meeting?
You can just drop them off for, yeah, we can do it next meeting as well.
Yep.
Okay,
So we'll,
because if we don't request a packet, we didn't get them this week.
right, so do you want to table that for the next meeting? Do
I
you need
mean,
to table it?
we can say that we're gonna do it, I'm
Yeah.
just saying,
Okay,
if we could all have it for the next meeting.
So.
On the
yeah.
It wasn't in the
I
packet.
believe, Eric, there should be copies right in front of you.
Oh, okay.
I think,
That's
to the left.
even
Eric.
easier.
That is
To the
better.
left. Nope, Eric, to the left.
One less thing I have to worry about.
Yeah,
I do believe Christine made copies for everybody that,
okay,
I'll make a motion that we all sign the, review and sign the VSBA Code of Ethics, and then it should be submitted by the next regular school board meeting.
okay.
a motion's been put on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Okay, next item. Identify locations where agenda and minutes will be posted. We have been putting them in, Lisa, you put them up in the library, right, in Proctor?
I do,
Um,
but I don't want to say library, because I don't want to
right,
make someone else have to do that in their town, so.
okay.
Couldn't we just say like the town
I
office,
thought.
what?
The post office, I thought, that's what we did last year, right?
And town office and the schools, because you have to list
Okay.
3.
So town office,
we do have a central office as well where we post it. So that
Does
is
that, does that count as a
Yeah.
place? Okay.
a separate building.
So maybe not say post office then?
okay. Is it legal to post them online? Like on
They are
our
usually online.
We do
website?
post them on our websites as well, yes. We do
So that
list,
would-
we
would
do
that
list that
count?
as one of the locations, yes.
We could use that as one location. Do you want to use that?
Well, I still think they should be at the town office. the
Yeah,
schools.
some
Yep,
people
town
may not-
office, website.
Yeah,
And our post office does get, there's more viewing of posted notes at the post
Okay.
office than at our town.
So you want to use a post office?
Could.
yeah, I would just, that means that
That's
someone has to physically go in, okay. I wouldn't list that as one. I
Okay.
think if people do that, then you can do that as a good member of the board.
I know.
But I don't want to be obligated if it doesn't happen at my post office, then we're in violation
Okay.
because I didn't get it over there.
So then we could just say
Someday.
the SU office. That could be the
Yeah.
one place.
Yeah,
Okay. Do we need need a motion to approve this?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, motion's on the floor. All in favor, or any discussion first? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
And I just want to say, that Christine does send the agendas and minutes to the clerks.
yeah, no, I know.
Just for clarification.
I just want to create work for somebody.
I know I drove to Proctor quite a few times to
Yeah, so,
bring them over.
Could have stopped in West Rutland, but
A few times, but Christine usually walked them over. Okay, we need to affirm a choice of attorney. I would recommend that we continue with,
Chris Leopold.
is
Yeah.
it still? I'll make the motion if he's still,
Chris is
Yes.
willing to do this year, but he's now on a year-to-year basis. So, and if he feels that he will not be doing this, he'll develop a transition plan with all boards.
Okay.
he works for a firm, so he doesn't work for himself. Yeah, so the firm is,
McNeil,
McNeil, and,
McNeil, Letty and Sheehan.
yeah,
Sorry.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, a motion's been made. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
I make the motion to authorize the superintendent or designee to request and expend available grant funds from the Agency of Education as well as state and federal funds.
Okay, the motion's on the floor. Any discussion? That is some discussions. That was the best question I've heard yet. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
I'll make the motion to authorize the board to borrow funds from the Unified School District pending receipt of payments from State Education Fund.
Okay, a motion's on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Newspaper?
So, Eric, we still have to
Also
identify
the
media
media
sources.
source, yes. Do I have a motion to identify a media source with Rutland Herald B1?
Yep.
I make that motion
And
as our
Lakeside
primary.
News, maybe?
And what was the other one, Lisa?
Lakeside News?
Yep. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
I'll make a motion to authorize the board chair to sign director's orders and other documents on behalf of the board as necessary.
Motion's on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed? So moved. All right. Okay, I think we've gotten through that portion.
On the backside?
Backside. Oh, right here. Thank you. You can tell I've been up since 3 a.m. All right, we need to assign a GRCSU subcommittee representative
For negotiations?
for negotiations. And we need 3. And it's tradition that we have 3, one from each town.
Yep.
I make a motion that we use the negotiation team that was,
We don't have anyone from Polteny that was on the negotiation
Right.
team because Linda's not on the
but
board.
he'll be the chair, so he can be the representative for
Okay.
Polton,
Yep.
so that makes it,
Okay, so motions on the floor, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Who was on policy last year? Sarah?
Sarah and I,
Okay. You want to be on it again?
I'm fine with that. Works for me.
I'll make a motion to appoint Sarah and Lauren to policy committee.
Okay,
Notice you did that.
motions on the floor?
You had no option.
here's your chance to
We're
vote.
getting strong-armed over there.
Here's your chance to vote. You better,
That's true.
You didn't twist Tom's arm, did you? So, motion's on the floor. Any discussion, if you dare? All in favor?
like,
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. All right, buildings and grounds, we need 2. Tom, you were doing that, you've been doing that for a while.
sure.
Okay, so we have Tom. Anyone else?
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay. So motions on the floor for Tom and Lisa for buildings and grounds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Communications Committee, we need 2.
I don't know if that's a thing that meets.
Yeah, it does at the SU level, and I don't think there's anybody from Quarry Valley on it.
Oh, an SU, okay,
Yeah.
got it.
It's an SU,
SU level.
SU committee, right?
Yes, and I know that Wells Springs last night did not place anyone on that because they know it's something to be discussed at the SU board meeting, so we can table that till
Make a motion to table.
April, till after GRCSU discusses.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody wants to be on it, I'm not gonna fight them.
So Mike made a motion
To table.
to table, Communication Committee.
Appointments.
Till April.
Quarry Valley appointments
Um,
to the Communication Committee.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Okay, on to the Stafford RAB representative for 2025-2026 school year. Would anybody like to be on that?
I'm currently it, and I would redo it if
Okay.
that was the choice.
So moved.
So moved. Do we need to put that to a vote?
Sure, we did everything else.
Everything else we did. So motion's on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
So moved.
Did they want to speak? Because we're doing that now.
Yep.
Let's see what's next.
No.
We're doing public comment next. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, it's time for general public comments.
Eric, we have.
Approve of the agenda.
And I do have one item that we need to add, it's just professional contracts. Under contract recommendations, we do need a motion for. Each year in March, we present all the teacher contracts for approval.
I make a motion to approve the agenda with the inclusion of teacher contracts.
Motion's been put on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. All right. Now we can move to general public comment. If you could just stand up and introduce yourselves.
Sure.
Remember, we don't comment on them.
Hi, my name is Terry Voss. This is my husband, Jeff. So we are here on behalf of Tawny Bristol. She had a death in the family, so she can't be here. And she is just put together AAU team for our son is on it, Carter. He goes to West Rutland School. So there's 18 kids total, boys and girls. So there's a girl team and a boy team. 15 of those kids are local West Rutland kids. And we are just wondering what we can do to get some gym time at West Rutland School for our kids.
Okay.
It's not a board issue.
You have a contact person so that the board can return? Do you have a contact information so that we can return that to you?
Yeah, as in myself or Tawny?
Yep.
Yeah. Either of us, it's fine.
Okay. And did you write your numbers down up there?
I
or-
will write this, I don't have my number on there, but I can.
You can write it
all
down for me.
you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't make any decisions right away after hearing public comment.
Right.
We'll discuss it at some point.
I'd say it's not a board issue.
Have you guys contacted anybody yet?
Well,
Yeah.
they're using
So
the gym,
We
so
did
it
reach
is.
out to our athletic director. First time we did not get an email back, it was ignored. And then the second time we did get an email back, just stating, and this was just on the 7th, that he responded back to her saying, right now it's too early to tell, which we know there's things going on in the gym and, Blazek is coming up and all, which we get. However, there is another local AAU team that's already able to use the gym. And why?
We have noticed some,
Could I ask?
some openings.
This is,
Could I ask? You have 15 from West Rutland. Are the other kids from like one of the Quarry Valley schools, from Poltley or Proctor?
Honestly, I don't have that list because Tommy does, and I wasn't able to, the death was just last night, so I don't have that.
so I think the appropriate measure is to have Jay reach out to them. This is not a board issue. These are independent administration issues between the principal and the AD. So I'm guessing you're West Rutland parent, so you know Jay.
Yeah,
And
no,
that-
I know, we do. We were just,
Okay,
We
and
all-
so that you should arrange a time to meet in his office and speak, because building admin and ADs oversee the use and time in gym. That's not something we do at the board level. That would be outside our purview.
But that sounds like they're trying to get it and
Well,
they're
that
not
would be,
being.
well, then that would be, that's why I'm saying you need to arrange a meeting with Jay,
Okay.
If there's a failure of that, then you could come back to us
to
and
the
let us know.
superintendent.
Right, and you go to Jay, and then we go to superintendent, and then to the board, so this,
There's a
we
problem.
bypass some steps here.
So there's just some steps to take.
But that's gotta be, when can you meet with Jay? Because AAU is over in the blink of an eye.
That's up
There's
to
already,
them.
there's already a team plan and they can't get.
It goes
Tom,
till-
it goes till June.
Yeah.
Joe did respond the second time. I didn't realize
Yeah,
there was a
the
first.
second
I've
time.
seen the email. Said, give us a couple of weeks. We're finishing up. We still have 5-6 basketball, the Glossic tournament. And until Monday,
Oh,
we
yeah, we
thought
get all that and then you got
Right.
Right.
baseball and soccer,
Right, and
softball
Monday,
coming
yeah,
in.
so
We get
Joe is scheduling boys and girls, softball, baseball, the West Rutland Rec has also, obviously, they always ask for time. We're managing it, and Joe's response back to Tawny was, give me a couple weeks, and once we get this, we gotta get it going.
Right.
And it's a new team, so we're trying to go through, starting with our student athletes, and then we'll get to this. And I'm sure we're gonna find a time.
Well, we've got, Quarry Valley has 3 gyms,
Yeah.
high school gyms. So I mean,
Yeah, so I can sit and, Terry, Jeff, and I all know each other. I'm more than happy to
Okay.
have a conversation
great.
with them.
all
All
right.
right, well,
And you know I'm gonna follow through.
I know sometimes we don't get through with parenting, so
Okay,
Very good.
sometimes that's a problem.
thank you.
All right, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
So Terry,
so
I'll
much.
give you a call tomorrow.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
All right. Moving on to consent agenda.
Make a motion.
Okay. A motion's been made to approve the consent agenda. Any discussions? All in favor?
Right?
Opposed? So moved. So basically, we approved that all at once.
Yep.
A, B, and C. Okay, just wanted to be clear. Moving on. to
Not contracts, he said that we need to have a motion to approve.
Approve the contract.
If you approve it under
Yep.
consent.
Okay,
and
you're
you
good with
approve
that?
Professional contracts, yes.
Okay.
We'll provide a list of the employees and the copy of the minutes.
Great,
So if you do a blanket with consent, that is following consent.
Okay.
That's how it rolls.
All right, I just wanted to make sure I was
Covered.
covered. Okay, moving on to reports. Superintendent.
Thanks, Eric. I don't have a lot. I know that I placed some informational items in my report for you. We do know that right now, our legislators in what's called crossover, that began on Tuesday, ends tomorrow, is a 4-day hectic period where bills that were currently in the House and the Senate are being discussed and decide if they're going to then be sent over from the House to the Senate and vice versa. I don't really want to talk too many bills tonight because there are, there's a lot of speculation about what will make it through, crossover, what won't. I think we'll have a better understanding next week when the legislature comes back in on Tuesday to see what items are of concern, and that's something which we'll continue to keep you apprised of. In the report, I did place some Act 73 items for you to take a look at because you'll hear a lot about the maps and if the in the foundation formula, and if we don't have a map, then we don't have a foundation formula, and then Act 73 unravels. Well, that's not necessarily true. There are many aspects of Act 73 that are still moving forward. And there are some items, particularly around class size, graduation requirements, and statewide calendar that will be moving through, and I place those on there. I will be, later on, either April or May, be providing a more formal report around graduation requirements. I know Lisa at the last meeting had asked for us to take a look at a comparison where Quarry Valley schools sit as opposed to the proposed graduation requirements. Say proposed, they still have yet to be accepted by the State Board of Education. I have no reason to believe that it won't, but, we'll see. But once that occurs, then we will have a comparison. I already have a lot of that information done. I know I've had a conversation with Jay, Joe, and Jen about this. We feel we're actually in a better place than most, just because of where our graduation requirements were. In fact, there are some issues where we may have some kids who are, in senior year, like, okay, what do I do? So the conversation might be, well, do we talk about, students can graduate early because they have met those graduation requirements? And so looking from a pathways perspective, that might benefit some of our kids. We look at, a truancy or a dropout rate. It might be more of an incentive for some of our students that if they get through this and they're, first semester of senior year, they can graduate and move right into an occupation or career or into the next step, whatever that may be. So there is a conversation that we will have as a board about the graduation requirements, where we sit. We'll do a side-by-side comparison. I also will be talking about class sizes in April or May. And it just depends. Jay, Joe, Jen, and myself, and Milt and Greg Connors, who are IT, we've sat down, we started taking a look at some preliminary numbers, and the class size with the high school gets very complex. Because now you start to look at exceptions, terminal courses, and there are a lot of courses that, I think as we did a first read, 70% of our courses in our schools are seen as terminal, which would all fall under exceptions regardless of numbers. So we may have like 3 kids in a terminal course, and then according to this, right now it is accepted. So we do anticipate some changes to the languages, just as we move forward. But we will just talk about what that looks like, what decisions need to be made, particularly as we look at the future of our high schools, what our high schools look like in the next, 2 to 5 years, and, whatever happens in the state with the maps. But we will have a larger conversation around that as well.
Okay.
And the calendar, which our region has more or less aligned, a lot of the superintendents have already done this. That won't take effect till 28-29, so there won't be any drastic changes, I don't believe, but we will see. I know there are some concerns about some holidays, some days off that are taken up north that aren't necessarily taken off down south, and what they may look like. So I'm more happy to answer any questions. Oh, and last, I just want to say thank you. I know that our budget passed. It was not by a lot of votes. I talked to the admin the next day, and we do know we have a lot of work to do to regain some confidence in our voters, about what needs to be done. But we do want to say thank you for passing the budget and showing some confidence in our staff and our students. So thank you.
Okay. Any questions for Chris? Okay. You're up.
Hello. I would echo what Chris said. It's nice to have support from the community, and we do have work to do. In my report, I just was able to take out some of the things from our newsletter that goes out to the community, just to highlight for you guys, in case you don't see it, just how every one of our pieces in our school aligns and helps support kids. So there's stuff in guidance in there and PE. We don't usually hear much about them at this meeting, and just keeping the literacy focus going. We were able to start our teachers on the Keys to Literacy course. They started yesterday, and we have built out a schedule to have debrief sessions so that we'll wrap that up to be able to turnkey that into instructional practices for next year. I also just wanted to note that we have a lot of PTO events coming up in the spring. It's a busy time for our PTO. They put in a lot of countless hours. We've got a great color run to help support our playground. And the other event, our basket bingo, is to just help continue to replenish our general fund that they have for PTO. So I just want to publicly thank them. And then we have coming up in April our Show Your Work student work night. So teachers are putting in what they're going to display for students. I would welcome you all to that. It's a highly attended event, and kids really just love to show all of their work that they've been working on. So We're excited that the snow is almost gone and getting outside, so it's been an interesting week with a lot of mud, so. We're good with it though. So if
Yay,
there's
mud.
any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Perfect. Joe?
Again, echoing, thanking the community. I told our staff the next day at our staff meeting, I'm like, people, this is on you guys too, people, you really work hard for your students, and so, I was to take that, yes, it was a short, but a win's a win, and we're taking it, and we'll move forward, and like I said, we do have work to do, but appreciate the support. Just a couple quick things to point out in my report. One, didn't know what was happening, but on last Monday, we had the Governor's Institute came to do a presentation to the staff, and Poultney Rotary gave a $500 donation to the Governor's Institute in Melissa Christensen's name, and it's not just a one-time thing. They're going to kind of do it every year, so that says a lot to her. She's been 20-plus years. I know there's some other stuff coming up too, so just a shout out for that. And one thing that didn't make it in here, because we just got it after I had to put the report in, but we do have 3 kids this year that were on the snowboard. They were with Mill River snowboarding. They snowboarded for Poultney, but practiced with Mill River. They were in the States last week. Yeah, like one of the kids, how'd you do? He goes, well, I didn't come in last. I'm like, okay, well, that's good, but, just, yeah.
You had fun.
It's just fun for them,
Right?
they were traveling all over, and it was, again, we talk about, I know it's not in our district, but like, Mill River's got their own buses, so we were coordinating the buses through Betcha, and just, you just work it out. So I think there was a couple West Rutland kids on that team as well.
Nice.
So, it was just a local schools helping each other out, so that's nice to see too. So, but these kids got experience, I always tell the kids, we offer you experiences, you just need to take advantage of it, so.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Okay. In my report, I do, if you could take a peek at the data summary link that I have in there. I met with Chris and Lisa last week. Was it last week? I think so. And I just kind of pulled together some really raw data. And it shows that we have been making gains over the past few years in VitCap, in reading and in math, more in reading than in math. And then I have some counseling data in there. And I have all of our FastBridge overall growth percentage rates. So if you could take some time.
Absolutely.
And check that out. And I'd like to publicly thank Mr. Hans Stoneberg. He purchased tickets for all of his 3rd and 4th grade basketball players. They went on a trip and saw a UVM game.
Nice.
And
He's a great guy.
It was, we didn't know it was happening, but when he let us know, and the kids just had amazing things to say just about that one little trip.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. And we have a lot of events upcoming, and they're all listed on there.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I've got several things I wanted to highlight. I forgot to add the link, even though I addressed it. Our FastBridge scores actually were very, very solid. We saw lots of student growth, a lot of aggressive growth. Chris talks a lot about both what we should expect, but also aggressive growth, and we saw a lot of that straight across the board, more in ELA than math, but our math scores have always historically been quite strong at West Rutland. Wanted to give a shout out to all of our student athletes for basketball season. Girls made it to the finals and lost to Richford on Saturday. It's been like the tour of Barrie. My car knows how to get there very well. And the boys unfortunately did lose on Monday, but we've had a great season, and we're going to go right into the Glossic tournament this weekend. Dion Johnson was there setting up with several other folks before I left to come over here. I also wanted to give a couple shout outs. Wendy Doust, middle school English teacher, won the Victor Swenson Humanities Award every spring for the 2 weeks after we get out of school in June. Wendy and one other teacher run a humanities camp that's open to students across the SU. And it is, we usually get between 12 and 20 kids from across the GRCSU, and it's great to see Wendy get recognized for this award. She does a lot of things such as Destination Imagination that not everybody sees, because a lot of these are after-school things. Night of Shining Stars is coming up on March 25th. That is the must-see event at West Rutland School, highlighting all of our academics. And two other things. Yesterday, the state spelling bee, one of the things I started was the script spelling bee when I got to West Rutland. And it's kind of taken a life of its own. We usually have between 45 and 75 students each year, which is a good chunk of our kids, by the way, participate. And this year, for the second year in a row, we sent 2 students to the finals. And want to give a shout out to Lucas LaFlamme, who finished 7th overall, and had a nice little time on camera for CAX yesterday, and to Sarl Venter, who finished 12th, and that was out of almost 70 participants.
Wow.
So big shout out to those guys, and to Miss Alifi and Miss Brooks, who are the behind-the-scenes coordinators of our spelling bee. So it is a nice part of our school culture that has really kind of, again, blossomed over the last few years. The last thing I had was a request. We have been on this list to have radon testing. As you know, we dodged PCBs. We've dodged all sorts of things. We were on the list to get our radon testing. They wanted to wait until this February break because they wanted the building not to be used. So we honored that, and then we still got put on a list that we hadn't done, but it's okay. We ended up having 2 rooms and 2 small practice rooms in our 1996 edition that came up with elevated levels of radon. Interesting. West Rutland apparently has quite a bit of radon as because of the mines, and it's just comes up. So I've learned a lot in the last couple of weeks because this is my 20th year being a building principal. I've never tested for radon. It's never been a thing that we've ever had to do. We've always done, lead water testing and asbestos and
There's radon. There's radon. I mean,
It's
I
everywhere.
see it in my business all over the place. Yeah.
So we got the results back last week. And we acted. We had an engineer come in. State gave us a list of 3 names. We contacted one of those names on the list, who was the closest, from Ludlow. So we're not paying for people to drive from all over the place. Engineer came in. He's done work for other Quarry Valley or GRCSU schools, and he has given us a bid to ventilate these 2 rooms and 2 interior practice rooms. If you're familiar with the 96 edition, these are rooms that face the back of the softball field, but the practice rooms are inside these 2 rooms. They are currently not occupied by students. I've told that was where the highest levels were. I've told the music teachers to cease having anybody in there. The rooms actually already have some ventilation in them. They have exterior windows, but it doesn't meet the threshold of what I need to meet the what the state is asking for. So I'm here tonight to ask. I talked to Lewis. I talked to Chris last week. I'm here to ask for $12,975 from the building fund to help.
Capital maintenance.
Capital maintenance fund. Sorry, I apologize. I knew I was going to get that wrong. So we can move forward with this ventilation of radon from these 4 spaces in our building.
Okay, so that's for the mitigation. of
Yes, that is
radon.
for the mitigation.
From CV Environmental?
Yes, this is from CZ
CZ.
Environmental. I had Christine added to your packet
I make
so
a
you
motion.
could see where this came and where this is coming from.
Okay, so Mike made a motion. So motion's on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
I appreciate
Mitigate
your
away.
support. Thank you. Yes, we will work on this tomorrow.
All right.
He has already called.
Okay, thank you for the reports. All right, on to, I don't think we have any new business at this point, so we'll move past that. Finances are in your packet?
You didn't go to new business.
What's that?
You just skipped over new business.
Oh, I thought I mentioned, we didn't have any.
I have an item.
You have an item?
I do.
Okay, let's go back to that.
I think it's a good idea every once in a while for us to review our individual responsibilities, whether it be a board, superintendent, or principal or teacher. And the state has a, I think it's 4 pages that outline what the various responsibilities were. So my request would be for us to have that included either for our next board meeting or maybe the board meeting after that, so we could review that, make sure that we're within our lanes of responsibility.
Okay.
And that's provided from the Vermont Department of Education, and I can forward that link to Christine if that's something that we'd be willing to do.
Okay, so that's a motion?
Mm-hmm.
All right, motion's on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? So moved. All right.
And so, I guess also under new business, I'm not sure if it's new or old, because we've talked about it before. We talked about centralizing janitorial, custodial staff, what that would look like. And we talked about when we were doing budgets that rather than waiting, again, till December to talk about what we should be doing, we need to start talking about stuff now that the budget passed. And so it seems like that might be one of the places to start. The other thing I think we need to talk about as a board with respect to going to the SU is, do we want to start talking at the SU a little more about what it would look like to be an SD and how that would be perhaps better for some of the smaller schools within the SU? And I understand that that could come with, from their perspective, perhaps some negative connotation.
Yep.
But we have no idea what they're going to say about tuition or things like that. I guess I would like to know at the SU level, have more of a commitment that as things move forward, that people are going to stick together. Because we know that schools have talked to other districts or other SUs or whatever. I don't want to all of a sudden read it on the front page of the Rutland Herald that someone has decided to break away and go do something else and kind of just leave us hanging out there.
Trust them?
Do I trust them? I don't know.
You don't have to answer, I just want to get that out there.
I think that having
They're looking out for themselves.
conversation,
Discussion for it, it's just.
well, but I think that's what we need to do, right?
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
So I guess I would just like collectively this board to be okay with SU representatives discussing that or bringing that to the SU board to ask to put it on an agenda. And then if that is not something that they want to discuss, then maybe as a board, as a Quarry Valley board, we need to think about, there are some other smaller schools that are NSUs that maybe would like to join us.
Yep.
You know, we do have a lot of things that we can offer. And, you know, while some people look and say you have 3 high schools and that's a downside, if I was a K through 8 or a K through 6 school and joining your SD, that might be a positive because my kids still have a choice of where to go within the SD. So I just wanted to throw that out there as conversation. I think we probably need to be talking about these things a little bit more at these meetings. I get it. I listened to the House. I listened to them today. The Senate was on the floor, saving us from ourselves, I guess. I just think that we need to talk about it here so people out here are still realize that Act 73 did pass, things are going on, even though they can't seem to come to any idea, and think about what our options are rather than people talking about us in their meetings and in the front page of the Rutland Herald.
I agree. I agree with that. I think it's time to start talking about that.
So is
that
there a consensus with this board that if the representatives discuss that at the SU level, that would be supported,
Okay.
be supported from this board, I guess.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor.
Well, I mean, I'm up for, I don't need a motion, I'm looking for a discussion, like
All
what
right.
people think, like, I mean, or if people are like, absolutely not, you know, I don't know. So,
Sarah?
That's for future business, though, right?
How do you feel about that?
I think everything should be talked about.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think we want to, at this point, I would wonder if everyone at the table has enough information about what the consequences of an SD versus an SU would be.
Right.
Are we talking about leaving the SU, right? Like, I mean, this is, so I think we'd need a little more information to have a board position.
Okay.
But conversation on all of this is, that's what we're here for.
So we should put that as a future agenda item?
Yes.
information,
Okay. So,
so could we put that on the April agenda for this board to look
Yeah,
at?
I'm fine with
the
that.
pros and cons of an SD versus an SU?
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, of course. All
I mean,
right.
because and maybe there's a level of like, that because I'm not going to those meetings and stuff, maybe that's a little over, but like there's the difference between the two different models, and then I guess I have some curiosity around the idea of, I guess what I'm hearing is wondering what other people at the SU are thinking. Are they going to go off and do their own? So that's a piece I'm just also a little unclear on, right?
So there
what the
has
implication of
been
your-
conversation with one district within the SU that's had other conversations, or was approached by a, I don't know, a budding, are they in a budding
Yes, they are
SU?
a budding district, yep. They're
And
within
there's
5 minutes.
Some concerns, I mean, and the other districts are concerned with respect to what would that mean about, technically, if you're an SD, then you don't tuition.
As of right now, there are no districts within the SU that are looking to leave, but this is a very chaotic and tumultuous time, and I think there will come a point in time where towns and districts will have to start to look at what is best for their citizens, and I think that's the conversation that Quarry Valley, just as Rutland Town and Wells, will all have to look at, position themselves in terms of what is best for us in the next 5 years, 10 years.
The Senate Ed chair, in his map, he did mention that I think he alluded to that school choice towns should stick with school choice towns, was basically where he was going with his map as far as some of the other districts in our SU.
Right, and the House map said no tuitioning,
Correct.
so.
Right. So we have,
There are a lot of strong feelings out there, yes.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why they were kind of stuck.
and there is going to be strong feelings, right? Because schools are important.
Yeah,
People love their schools. And when my kids went to Wells, and, I love Wells Village School. They had great teachers. So I get it. I get the passion around it. And
and I'm not saying, I just think we need to be talking about it a little more than we have been in the past, because once things start moving, we need to be aware of what our options are, and,
choices will be made for us if we don't start,
absolutely, and people have tried to already make choices for us
Yeah.
without having conversations with us,
Right,
so.
with us.
Yeah, without us, without conversations with us. So I just think that having that conversation, and that also having those conversations here hopefully translates to those conversations taking place within your communities, and maybe those people coming back and saying, I heard you talking about this, and it was complete horseradish. So,
Yep. But then we know where we stand.
100%. That's
Yep.
all I'm asking for.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it can be done in a respectful way. People
Yep.
can disagree in a respectful way.
So I would assume that we'd be looking at some data that would be presented, so we need to understand at what point in time and who would be responsible for collecting that data.
Data for.
Well, whatever. I mean,
The
I don't
two
know.
forms of governance perspective, from that perspective?
That's part of it.
Are we at the point of data, though? I feel like it's more of just a conversation.
It's a
at this
conversation, but
point.
part of that conversation, she should be informed with data that's part of that conversation. How can you have, it's kind of like when you go to a doctor, he says you got cancer, well, what kind? Well, I can't tell you. You know, we can't really make any kind of decision unless we have some data to go along with that, because that data will help drive us and give us ideas of which way and what things we may or may not be able to do.
Okay.
Well, personally, I think the next point is just providing information that says, this is what an SD is, and this is what falls under the umbrella of an SD, and this is what an SU is, and this is what falls under the.
You're asking me to do
Could
that.
you-
Just wanted
could
to
you
be
do that,
clear. I
Chris?
don't know if the board's charging me with this.
I mean-
I have in the past provided the board
Yeah, we've
with
got.
material around a non-biased comparison between SUs and SD. So you have had that material.
Right, so if we could just have that again, put in
Sure, I just want to make sure.
It may be
what
in
data, 'cause right
our,
now we're kind of all over the place.
that's all, that's what I think,
Let's start there.
that's what I
Sure.
think we're looking for. It's probably in our packet someplace,
But the framework, you're talking about framework, which is where you start.
yeah, and that's all. And then everyone reviews that, and we come back and we discuss that. That's, it's as simple as that, I think.
So I will provide a net to the basic SUSD
Yeah, and it, like,
SU versus SD governance.
side by side, yes.
Yep.
yeah. And there's a good chance it's probably already in our folder, but
Yeah,
Where we don't know.
Yeah.
I'm never good about finding old stuff in there. Okay, that's it. I think that's the basis of it.
Okay. Lewis isn't here, so the financials are in our packets, and I'm sure you can reach out to him if you have any questions. Do we have anything to discuss in executive session?
Well, someone joined, so we might have a public comment, so I don't know.
We have-
I don't
Do you
know.
have any, I don't see,
Mark Coldrew?
Or Codere.
Codere.
anybody have any public comments online? Nope, okay. We have one future agenda item already. Any others? All right, so can I have a motion to
Make the
adjourn?
motion.
Motion's been made. Any discussion?
Undebatable.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.